All right. Now we're on to motivational gift of giving. And so we're going to talk about the etymology of the word again. Now, this is a Greek word that is for giving is metadidous. Metadidous. It's metadidous. Metadidous. It means to turn over or to give over, to share or transfer. So the definition of giving used in this study is the ability to understand the material needs of others and then meet those needs generously. Okay, so the motivational gift of giving is just what it says. It's people that are just want to give of themselves constantly. Again, we'll talk about it in a minute. It's not just money, but it's time and resources and that sort of thing. But they see needs and they want to meet those needs, and they want to meet them generously. They want to go over and above what people need. And so givers are people that are transferring resources, they're sharing resources and that sort of stuff. Some with this gift tend to live simply and to keep what they need while giving the rest away. Again, remember, this is generalizations. Not everybody's this way. I know people that have the giving gift that don't live simply, but they have enough resources, they make enough money that they don't live super extravagantly, but they live nice. They live, they have a nice, nice decent sized house and stuff. They're not misers or anything like that, but they plan. Because of the fact that they are givers, they actually plan to have excess so they can give. And so, but some with this gift will actually live very simply and keep it at a minimum of what it takes to live so they can give more away. The concept embodied by this gift is the giving or sharing of what one has with others in a manner that is neither in secret or with reluctance. In other words, they don't care if people know that they give. They're not doing it so people know, but they don't care if people know. In fact, one of the things is some of them actually want people to know so they will be inspired to give as well, because then they've accomplished their gift more easily, and more has been given. And so they will let people know what they give. They don't tend to want to hide it. They don't care if people know. Some will, but as a rule they don't. And it's to inspire others to give. So the category that this gift falls into, that giving falls into, is the doing category. It falls in the doing category. Now, income is not the only way to determine whether someone has the gift of giving. Givers also donate their time through volunteer work or helping others in some way. Habitat for Humanity, that sort of thing. They don't necessarily just give money, but they'll give their time and that sort of thing to help, to benefit a need. They are characterized by hospitality. Perhaps the easiest way to identify a giver is their generous and charitable nature. So it's pretty easy. Those that I know, the people in my life that I know are givers, that have the motivational gift of giving. Not that everybody's not. Not that everybody doesn't give, but I'm just saying those that the dominant gift is giving. They're just charitable people. They're always giving of themselves. When you're around them, they have this nature about them that's always nurturing and giving and kind and that sort of thing. And so they're easy to recognize that way. In an organization, this extends to making personal sacrifices of time and self. And so if you have them on your staff, you have people with the gift of giving, they're going to give more to the cause, give more to the work at hand than others will, because that's just their nature. They'll give of their time themselves. Givers can make wonderful customer service representatives because they enjoy taking care of needs, of others' needs, often going above and beyond what is necessary to satisfy the customer. So if you have them as CSRs, you want to empower them. That's what you want to do. You want to empower your CSRs that have a motivational gift of giving so that they can, whenever you have customer issues that come up, things that happen, they have the ability to meet their needs, to satisfy the need of that customer, and so that you retain a customer. Those of you in the business world know it's cheaper to keep a customer than gain a new customer. It's not always possible to keep a customer because some people you're just not going to make happy, but it's always smarter to keep a customer than to gain a new customer. Because the fact is when you gain the customer, you have to win them once. But if you win them through adversity, if you've kept them through adversity when something bad happened, and your CSR person went above and beyond to rectify a situation, to satisfy their discontent or whatever, then you've won them twice. And so they're going to be even more of a marketing tool that you can have, or evangelize, tell people about what your product or service is. When the patience and generosity of others has run out, a true giver will continue to be gracious. Giving's my number 6. I get worn out pretty quickly with people. People with giving, they don't. I don't hope you guys don't think horribly of me, but that's just who I am. I mean, I can't be somebody I'm not. But I have to work on it. So anyway, back to the point at hand. When everyone else's patience has worn thin, when everyone else wants to give up on something, a giver will continue to be gracious and continue to be kind. That's why they're good at customer service. Givers are fulfilled by knowing the gift they gave, either money, time, or resources, brought joy and aid to another, whether the recipient knew the source or not. So that's where they are energized, knowing that a need was met, knowing that not in the giving, not in the doing of it, just like an encourager, they're not fulfilled by just encouraging people, but when people are encouraged. So a giver, when a need is met, and especially if it's met in an abundant way, in an abundant fashion, and they're part of that, they are so fulfilled, they're so energized, they're so motivated, and so that's just something that's part of their character. They tend to be frugal and industrious people. Again, people that I know, they live well, but they're not extravagant. They'll have, but they never pay retail for anything. They've got a lot of nice things, but they've never paid retail for anything in their life. So they're frugal and they're industrious. And depending on the other dominant gifts working in the giver's life, a giver tends to have an independent nature. They're you can't really, they're just independent. Let's leave it at that. They are motivated by a desire to help others. Sometimes this is through charitable work or organizations that provide food or medical treatment to the disadvantaged. And so that's motivating to them is going someplace and really helping them. I've been involved in missions work and things like that. And people with that gift, that just really excites them when they can go and help others and give of their time, give of their money, and be hands-on. They're very hands-on people. They want to provide that food or medical treatment to those that are disadvantaged. Other givers excel in critical thinking, in design and math and sciences, enabling them to establish projects or organizations of their own that provide directly for those in need. So they're going to be some of the people that actually start these organizations, that are the founders of these organizations, because they see a need. A giver will see a need. Givers don't have a problem finding a need because it comes to them. It's just because of their generous nature. Needs they just tend to always come across needs, and so they could be the intelligence. They could be the ones that are those that are gifted in areas that actually create the foundations, create the organizations, create the ministries, what have you, to meet these needs, because they're motivated by the need. And so somebody's got to do something about it. They think in their mind somebody needs to do something about it, and a lot of them will just do it themselves. They'll create it themselves, and then they will start reaching out to people to get them to come alongside them, to partner with them. They'll reach out for partners because they're passionate about it. They're passionate about meeting a need, and so then they will actually partner with people. They'll recruit people to help them. And we'll find out later that sometimes they're not happy if you don't want to. Even if this entrepreneurial tendency is not seen, givers often find themselves managing or working in positions that require financial and mathematical proficiency, i.e., they're working accounting and financial planning, investing, budget analysis, accounts payable departments, or handling finances for organizations in some way. So because of that gift that they have, they're going to tend to be frugal. Again, like I said, almost all of them that I know that have this gift as their dominant gifts, they've never paid retail for anything. So you're going to get usually the best deal. They're going to handle the numbers correctly. They're going to be numbers people as a rule. Again, a generalization. Not everybody is, but as a rule, they're going to be numbers people. There are some givers who do not experience the financial aspect of their gift. In these cases, a giver is still compelled to meet a particular need of others through a specific gifting in their life. So, say you've got other dominant gifts in your life, that go along with the giving. Giving is one of the top ones, but you have others. A lot of times, if that whole financial aspect that we just talked about, the frugalities and things like that, aren't part of you, it's because of the other gifts that will take over, and you'll start giving through that other gift. The giving motivation will drive the other gift to be what is given. So they'll do that. A giver still is compelled. In these cases, a giver is still compelled to meet a particular need of others through a specific gifting in their life. A true giver is motivated to be generous and gracious. Okay? Generous and gracious. There's a lot of people that are generous, but they do it reluctantly. But a true giver will be generous and gracious. So the people with this gift, they are the arms of the group, the body, the arms of the group. Their role is they're the ones that reach out. So they're the arms of the group. They have the ability to make money easily. It just seems like money comes to them. The reason money comes to them, the reason why they find it easy to make money is because they give it. Because their motivation is not to hoard it. Their motivation is not to keep it, but it's to give it. And so you're not driven so much by what you can get, but you're driven by what you're going to be able to give. And so that's one of the aspects. They are motivated to help others come under the principle as good money management, come under the principles of good money management. They want people to manage money properly. We'll see in the downfalls later what they don't care about for people that don't handle money right. They're motivated to support causes they are particularly connected with. So if they have a family member, like in my instance, my dad passed away with Alzheimer's. I'm motivated to work with the Alzheimer's. My mother survived breast cancer in 1994. She had breast cancer, so we've supported breast cancer research and that sort of stuff. So we're motivated by things that we're connected with, things that affect us. And so their motivation is they're gifted to make money. Money is their friend. It's not something that drives them. Money's just a friend. It's another companion of theirs. They love to give money, and it excites them to give money. And so, that's givers just love to do it. They love to be generous. They love to do things for people. If you're recognizing this, again, don't confuse this with just money. But if you have the motivational gift of giving, you've wondered why you always want to do for others. You always want to give of yourself. You're always wanting to. You see somebody in need, and you're always wanting to meet that need. Then you got that gift. They may have they may not have a lot of money. Some will, some won't. They give and are careful with what they have. So a lot of them are frugal again. So the pros is the giver is motivated to make money and give money. But then the con, the drawback, the motivation to make money and handle money properly opens the door for hoarding and stinginess. So they do have that, they can have that tendency. And a prime example of that is Scrooge in A Christmas Carol. He had that ability to give, but the desire to have more money kept him from giving it. We saw in the end in the end of the story, how much of a giver he was, but it was something that the drawbacks of this gift had just he'd gotten caught up in making more money. They can give everything away and not take care of themselves. Again, I know people that had a ministry, and they prided themselves in saying every penny you give goes to those in need, and that's a noble thing. It's noble. However, in most cases it's not practical, because if you're giving everything away to what comes in, if you don't have another source of income to take care of your needs, for you to live on, also to take care of administrating that ministry or that gift or that foundation or whatever, you don't have money to support the administration of it, because it takes administration. Believe it or not, it really takes administration. And if you don't have funds to do marketing, then you're going to be limited to the amount of income you're going to have for your organization. So you have to be able to take a portion of what's given to your organization, to your foundation, and use it to market. Because the thing is if you multiply the number of givers, if you look at any fundraising group, they say, one of the things that you need to look at is the number of givers. Not necessarily the amount of the gift, but look at the number of givers, because once you multiply the number of people that are giving, then you actually can have more income for that group. So you're actually meeting the need better by taking some of the money and pulling it aside for administrative cost and for marketing. So when it's administrated well, it's properly managed because you're using your gift to manage properly. Then when you market, you're gaining more givers, and so you're actually accomplishing more for those that are in need than if you just sent everything away. Now I know there are examples, and there's one lady in particular that I heard her talk about that there's actually a company that just pays her a salary. They pay her a salary to do her foundation, so she doesn't have to worry about raising money for herself, using part of the money for herself, so she can send it off to who needs it, the people that are in need. But those are, if you can get that kind of a situation, that'd be ideal. If you get people that want to give just to your salary, to the administration, to the marketing, to all the administrative costs, then that'd be great. Then you can say everything you give will go 100% to them, because then you have one supporter. But that's not the case most of the time, so just be wise. It's just counsel. It's just take it for what it's worth. If you got a gift of giving and you're idealistic and you want to give everything away, you're not helping them as much as you could if you actually took some of a portion of it for administrative and marketing costs. Now don't take an exorbitant amount, but 20-30% at the most, and use that, and then you're going to multiply the number of givers, and then you're going to actually benefit those in need more. So that's free teaching there. Now the giver is offended if you don't listen to their financial advice. They can be offended if you don't listen to them, and debt offends them, and they treat it as a lack of financial planning. Now see, a lot of times businesses are funded through debt. There's strategic funding and that sort of thing. You get seed, venture capitalists that give you seed money and things like that. Sometimes you have to do that. That's just how you have to do it. But somebody with the gift of giving, they don't like that. They don't think that's smart. And I agree with them. I mean, I'm kind of on both sides of the equation. I know sometimes you have to have debt. You have to incur debt to build the business when you don't have any capital up front. But also you have to guard against being overextended in debt, because you have one little hiccup, and you're going to have hiccups in businesses. If you have one little hiccup, it could destroy your company. So you've got to be smart about it. But those with the motivational gift of giving, they don't think debt is even smart at all. So anyway, they get offended. So jobs and careers and activities that they can be involved in, they can be money analysts. They can be money counselors. In fact, they want to counsel people with money all the time. They can be accountants, an auditor, banker. It's good to have at least one or so on your board. Don't have a whole board of givers, because you won't have any money, because they'll give it all away. But you got to have somebody on there who's got this giving motivation, so that it keeps you balanced. They're brokers. They're budgeters. They're good at working budgets. They're good business managers. If you want somebody to manage your business, you're going to be the CEO or whatever. It wouldn't be bad to have somebody managing the money that's got the motivational gift of giving, because they're going to be frugal. As a rule, they're going to get the best deals on things and stuff like that. Again, the people I know never pay retail. They can be a good business owner. Again, foundations are for-profit business, nonprofits, what have you. If you have buyers in your organization and you need somebody to buy, that's what you want. They can be the chief financial officer, or they can be the controller. So they're good in those positions as well. They'd be cost controllers and cost cutters. That's one of the aspects of them. They're cost cutters. They can be doctors, are good occupation for those with the giving. Economists, entrepreneurs. They're usually good entrepreneurs. They see a need, they see something, and a need not necessarily people that are in desperate situations, underserved people, but a need in society. And most entrepreneurs are going to start their business because of a need in society. The studies show that entrepreneurs that start their business just to make money, they fail. But entrepreneurs that start a business to meet a need, they're always motivated by that need, and so they're constantly going to meet that. So they make good entrepreneurs. They're good at fundraising because they want people to feel what they feel. They want people to feel the fulfillment of giving and meeting a need. They're good investors because they're going to have the money to seed into what's going on, and that's meeting a need. It's one of those things. Again, a lot of times we equate this giving with underserved people, and that's a large aspect of it. But a giver, if you got the gift of giving, think about this. You can be an investor in a business, in a startup business or something like that, that's meeting a need, and so you're actually giving. You're going to get money in return. You're going to get interest back and that sort of thing, but you're meeting a need. So think about that if you've got this gift. They're philanthropists. Givers are philanthropists. They're planners because they're going to be strategic about it, about what's given and stuff. They're good professionals. They're purchasing agents. We talked about buyers, but purchasing agents, in case you use a different terminology. They're good at finding resources, because of the fact that they want to be able to give more. Money comes to them, resources comes to them, so they're good at finding resources. So if you need resources for your organization, for your company, they're good for that. And then have them your trustee, to be on the board of trustees, or a trustee for a family trust or something like that. They're good to have because they're going to manage it properly. They're not going to mismanage it. They're not going to abuse the funds and things like that. They're going to handle it correctly. So somebody with the motivational gift of giving will be a great trustee. So we've learned a lot about those that give, those that have this motivational gift of giving. Just because you have a motivational gift of giving doesn't mean you give all your money away. It doesn't mean that's what you tend to do. So you say, well, I don't give money all the time. Well, the thing is it's a nature. It's your nature to be generous and to be gracious and that sort of thing. If you have this gift, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're always giving money out. You're always giving money away. But that's just what some of them do. So anyway, so that's giving, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video. and I trust that you've learned something really that has impacted your life. Thanks.